is more of a summer berry, and the Himalayan blackberry, which of course isn't native, but I'm pointing it out because it's next to it, that will be available in the sort of late summer, early fall. Always good to know when berries are available. So the salmonberry, of course, is the first, and there's a bunch of them that are ripe now, and they will be, it's a May-June fruit. Lots of the floor covered by, there's bees going onto the Western bleeding heart. There's some beautiful ripe salmonberries. So here's another one that shows the color that's more orangish, and if they separate easily, like if you pull the cup, this one wants to hold on just a little bit, so it might want another day or two, but it should be fine. Like it separates pretty easily. So that's what you're looking for. It can be plump, maybe smaller, orange, yellow, kind of red, partial red. They're a little bit tartar than some of the other fruits that will be available, but I think they're quite delicious. Here's one you don't want to eat. These are not ready yet, but they will be red. And this is the red elderberry. And while we can eat the blue and the black and make lovely, delicious and medicinal syrup out of it, we don't do that with the red. And the red is really what we're going to find out in our Western Washington woods. So for ID of this one, mad elders, think mad elders, maples, ashes, dogwoods, elders, and snowberry, of trees and shrubs that the species of those that grow in our Northwest woods those are the ones that are opposite branching patterns. So when I talked about branching patterns, so sometimes leaf arrangement applies, but when you don't have any leaves and it's winter time, you're looking at the overall branching profile. So I hope you can see it. I've got a GoPro on, so I'm trying to adjust it. You can see that these shoot out directly opposite one another. So those, you'll still be able to see those even when there's no leaves. There's not as many trees and shrubs that have the opposite branching pattern, but the red elder is one of them. So it's not alder, so mad elders. So all the elders do that. All the maples do that. All the dogwoods do that. This one also has a compound leaf. So this pinnate leaf that's divided. So this is actually one leaf. These are pairs of leaflets. And so for elder, you're looking for that opposite branching pattern. And then the divided or compound leaf. And when it's flowered, it will have a little dome of white flowers. For the red, it's kind of a little bit more conical. And for the blue, it's going to be more like an umbrella. And they both actually are used for colds and flu as a tea, those flowers. I don't drink a lot of tea of the red. I prefer the blue because I'm not sure exactly where the borderline is, because this one is really considered more of a toxic plant. Even though it does have historical use of eating the berries, the little seeds have like cyanide in them, and so does the bark and the leaves. So it's just one I tend to leave more for wildlife than for my own use. But the blue, which is more of a, over the Cascades on the central or eastern Washington side, or southern Washington, sometimes north, like a little bit sunnier, slightly more arid. Blue elderberry you'll find everywhere, and it grows here. We can certainly grow it in Western Washington in this area, but it doesn't naturally occur same way that the red does. Here's another salmonberry. And here's a big hazelnut. Really soft leaf, kind of looks like a soft alder. And this will have its beautiful nut available like late summer, fall. Here's another salmonberry. You can see that beautiful red color. I'm just kind of browsing a little bit. There's going to be a ton of berries here really soon. Lots of bracken fern. So I'm actually going to turn around. Oh, there's something I want to show you, but I know I'm going to see more of it in the forest, so back backtrack here just a bit. All right, this was a trail. It's gotten super overgrown, but we're gonna go in this entrance of the forest and see. There's a red alder, a lot more mature. They just get covered with lichens, all different kinds of lichens and mosses. But this is a really mature one. This one probably is at the end of its life. They don't live super long and then are really important as snags within all forests. But this, my forest right here has just loads of them, and the pileated woodpeckers come. Here's going to be a later in the summer treat. This is red huckleberry. Just starting to get some development there for its little fruit starting. So it's related to a blueberry, and it'll have a red fruit that's pretty tart, perfectly round. It'll look like a red blueberry basically. It often has like little insects on it, so with any berry, be sure to try to shake them off to try to help the insects rather than eating them. We can try to keep them here in the forest, but it's something to look out to just be aware of those relationships between the insects, sometimes spiders that like certain plants. So this one's growing on very woody soil, kind of right at the edge of a nurse log, and it needs that. It wants to be on a log, a stump, very woody soil, and it also likes it really moist, and it likes shade or partial shade. It doesn't want to be in full scorching sun. Right next to it is not an edible. This one is false azalea, and its leaves are very different from the red huckleberry, but they both have a similar flower, which is not appearing right now, but this one looks like it's actually a member of the heath family. It can kind of fake people out. There's one right there. You see that? It looks like a blueberry flower, but it does not produce blueberry or huckleberry fruits. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. Lots of it here. Siberian miner's lettuce. This is one of my favorite edibles in the forest or trail edge. This one with all this little flower, which kind of tastes like chickweed. This is Clatonia siberica. It is not miner's lettuce. It is a relative to the other miner's lettuce. They can both be used the same way or eaten the same way. This delicate little plant, and the whole aerial portion is edible. When I harvest it, I just take tops or a few leaves, kind of browsing, so you don't have to take the whole plant. I'm going to bring one up close. You can see the flower, 5 petals with pink stripes, and the little indentations on the flower, that's about the size difference. It's a small flower, but not as small as chickweed. And it will start out with a basal rosette and then alternate leaf arrangement on the flowering stalks and little pairs of flowers. And these